15th, 2020 will definitely be known as one of the darkest and saddest days for wrestling fans. I want to get into that and talk about those releases that took place in WWE, but unfortunately this video is not the time, not the place, because we are talking about an alternative promotion to WWE. But just note that this definitely was a hard day for sure. And I have graphics prepared. I will do that stream sometime tomorrow. After NXT stream, of course. I need to catch up on NXT first. And then I will do a stream talking about my thoughts on the many releases we got today in WWE due to the virus. But that'll be tomorrow. What's going on, guys? This is the Club of Demand 1993, and I am here live to give you my live review of AEW Dynamite from the April 15th, 2020 edition, and once again it took place in Jacksonville, Florida. I didn't get to read the whole thing of the new location, of course, so where it is. Over the weekend, it was revealed a couple days ago that Double or Nothing is still going to happen, as far as I know. I guess Dynamite's fallen in WWE's footsteps or something, I don't know, with the fact that they're still going on. Even I still think at some point these wrestlers need to take a break with this pandemic going on. These empty arena shows are not going to last forever. And so far, I gotta say, this show wasn't horrible. I thought this was the weakest episode we've had since the empty arena shows began. To me, it was just, well, we had a tournament match for the TNT Championship. We had a AEW World Title match. And we had a lot more of, like, not saying enhancement matches, but, like, matches that were definitely, for the most part, one-sided, pretty much. You pretty much knew who was going to win most of the matches. They were good. It was a solid show. I gave it a solid grade, I would say. It was solid. It put over people, but I'll say this was probably, in my opinion, the weakest episode of Dynamite since the empty arenas shows began. But we still, of course, had a crowd, except for that main event. It was a complete empty arena. Did live up to the hype, though. We'll talk about that. We just have Tyler in a live chat. He's saying he's skipping Raw and SmackDown. We know. But let's talk about this show. We opened up, of course, with a promo from Jake the Snake Roberts. Obviously, his client, Lance Archer, is in the TNT Championship match in the quarterfinals tonight against Colt Cabana. He talks about how that title was made for Lance Archer because he commands attention when he walks into a room. That title belt is a ball, and do you really want to take this ball away from his dog? Each time Lance wins, he knows he's getting a little closer to what they want, and he's watched Colt Cabana for years. He knows what he's capable of. He's got some stuff, but he's not good enough to overcome 270 pounds of raw steel with an attitude. Archer was forced to Japan just to make a living, and he's pissed. He's got something nobody else has, and he's a freaking animal. Listen to Jake or regret it. It's your choice. And we had, for most of the show, except for the main event, we had Tony Schiavone and Chris Jericho on commentary again, which, of course, Jericho is super entertaining on commentary, especially during his match with the match that Sammy Guevara had tonight. So Colt Cabana cuts a promo, firing back at what Jake Snake Roberts had to say he's capable and has worked everywhere, and his track record is as good or better than Lance Archer. He's here to come from underneath and prove himself, and he's not looking past Archer in any way. He's a big bad dude, but he's beaten big bad dudes before, and his goal is to hold AEW gold. And then, before the match we had, I guess Archer came through the crowd and started destroying some wrestlers who were sitting in the crowd, and then he would before the bell rings, he nails Colt Cabana with a hard forearm in the back. The match with Cabana and Archer wasn't bad, but it mostly ended up being mostly a squash match. I mean, Colt tried, but Archer dominated the match as well. Um, we um, we had him have good counters, including a forearm he countered towards the end of the match. I gotta say, but but then it wasn't enough to keep down Archer. He eventually would win with his crucifix bomb that he calls the blackout. Gain the victory. He's going to move on to the semifinals and face the winner of next week's. I think it's next week or the week after. 1, 2, whenever the match takes place, the next week or week after. I still think it's next week. I don't remember for sure. But the match, he's going to take on the winner between Kip Sabian and Dustin Rhodes. And I'm still making my prediction. I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer in the finals for the TNT Championship. And that's fine. That's what the story is telling right now with saying. So Archer wins as I expected. We also have a video package with Dr. Britt Baker literally in her dentist office, laying out rules for being a role model. Number 1 is always fight fair, which she criticizes Hikaru Shida's technique from last week, and having her nose broken and whatnot. But I guess we're going to get more rules to come as weeks go on. That was the only one that we got. So then we have a little bit of a hype reel for Ariel Helwani and Taz commentating on Jake Hager versus Jon Moxley, and Taz breaks down Hager's standing arm triangle down and explain how it works. The type of fact about his MMA style and whatnot that he has to him. Dr. Britt Baker then has a match with Cassandra Golden, some random jobber, but Britt just basically toyed with Golden throughout the whole match. It was just an extra coming in to put over Britt. Britt wins the match as needs be. And then we have more people weighing in on the winner between Moxley and Hager. And then we get this very neat video package. At the beginning of it, it's showing like a parody of like the Brady Bunch, except for the 6 members of the Inner Circle, and they called it the Bubbly Bunch. But apparently Santana and Ortiz were talking crap about the Young Bucks, and I know Chris Jericho was talking crap as well about how Hangman Adam Page had not been there, and he kept calling I can't remember what he kept calling Kenny Omega throughout the night, just some goofy name, and also just hyping up how I guess they were saying how Sammy Guevara is not really a Spanish god. But then Sammy starts just talking more crap, saying he is, and how like sexy he is and whatnot. Again, they did fire shots about the Hangman not being there, which I read a report the other day. I think from the last set of tapings that Dynamite that they did that are currently going on right now, I don't think MJF, Hangman, the Young Bucks, and like 1 or 2 people came to those tapings because of what's going on with the virus. So again, with some of these more talent, agreeing to stay home, pretty much, again, it might, affect like some future plans for these promotions. But after that, we had a match with Sammy Guevara taking on Suge D. I never really heard of Suge D before, or however you pronounce his name. But this is not a bad match. Suge D wasn't really, jobbing to Sammy, but it was a match to put over Sammy Guevara. Sammy would win with a Feast Your Eyes, and after the match, he cuts a promo while standing over Suge's unconscious form. He says this was light work for a Spanish god, and he can go 2 more rounds, or to the very first round, because he wants to spoil what happens in the TNT Championship Tournament. Sammy Guevara will beat the shit out of Darby Allin. And here's an example. He then runs back and starts beating the heck out of Suge, but then Darby Allin comes out and makes a save. We're getting that match either next week or the following week as well. But honestly, I know I hate 50-50 booking. Kind of want to see Sammy Guevara win that match with Darby Allin. I don't know. I feel like he could use a win and get past the first. I feel like Sammy, yes, he's put on some good matches and he's excellent on the microphone or whatnot. I feel like he could rack up a few more wins. And since Darby, this is a feud that could be okay with going 50-50 right now, and having a rubber match later on with a stipulation, as I think it should, eventually. So I'm going to say, even though Darby Allin kind of fired the shot at Cody Rhodes the week before that first TNT Championship Tournament match, I kind of want to see Sammy win the match, and at least get to the semifinals and face off with Cody Rhodes, and have an even more improved Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes than what we had on the first ever AEW Dynamite match. Just my opinion. If Darby wins, I'm not going to be pissed, but just what I think we should have. Afterwards, we have Kip Sabian taking on Chuck Taylor with um with shoot, what's his name? Orange Cassidy in his corner. The only thing I really liked about this match, or in fact, well, it was a match that put over Kip Sabian. He had a moment where he kissed Penelope Ford and whatnot. Jimmy Havoc was also out there. He eventually attacked Orange Cassidy. But also, I liked how Chris Jericho was calling Chuck Taylor Chucky T, and then saying, that's like a Chuck E. Cheese maneuver or something like that, with the move he was calling out, the Chuck E. Cheese maneuver. I can't remember what he was saying, but he was basically just making fun of Chuck T and rooting for Kip Sabian. Sabian would get the win, and he's going to take on Dustin Rhodes. In the first round of the TNT Championship, which you have two more matches left. Again, Guevara and Allen, and Sabian and Dustin. So we had that, and then we have Shawn Spears pretty much squash Justin Law with a C4, give him a victory, which he could use for sure. Well, next week must be Guevara and Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin, because next week Kip Sabian is going to be taking on Orange Cassidy. And then we get our main event. Jon Moxley versus Jake Hager in a no-holds-barred empty arena match for the AEW World Championship. I had to think about this one before going live. Watching it, here's the thing. My goal behind this whole idea was for me to try, personally, was to get that Jack Swagger taste out of my mouth. Because I didn't want to go into this match thinking it was, Dean Ambrose taking on Jack Swagger or Jon Moxley taking on Jack Swagger. I want this to be, like some type of different feel to it. And you know what? I kind of felt it that way. With the promos that they had last week, hyping up, Hager wants to be, Moxley and Hager are both the only undefeated wrestlers in AEW. With Hager, wanting to be undefeated in both AEW and MMA. He eventually wants to be champion for both MMA and AEW, with being the Belfont champion, he called it last week. Also, I liked his moment in the Bubbly Bunch, also got mentioned, where he was talking trash about Moxley with his kids sitting next to him. He goes, "Kids, cover your ears." They cover their ears, and he says, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of Jon Moxley." And as far as the match goes, tad long, couple commercial breaks. I don't think it quite lived up to the hype I was hoping for. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. Two, big dudes who just like to do typical old school meat potatoes, beating people up, wrestling, just simple styles. I get that. I guess the thing that was missing, this is a no-holds-barred, empty arena match. And yes, the pinfall had to be inside the ring, but I guess I expected a little more action outside the ring. So I don't know. I just didn't really feel like this would blew me out of the water as much as I had hoped for after what we got from last week's segments. And it just kind of makes you feel that, Hager still's got a long way to go. I mean, yes, he was undefeated before this, but to me, I still couldn't quite get that swagger taste out of him. I just still don't see anything that spectacular in him yet. I mean, yes, he's doing great in MMA, but I just think that as far as trying to contrast both sides, I don't see a big dangerous MMA fighter, and I don't see yes, obviously Hager has done sports entertainment before in WWE, but the fact that I feel like Ronda Rousey was able to keep that good balance between being an MMA fighter and a WWE fighter, but feeling like it flowed together. I don't think Hager quite has that there yet. I mean, he's not horrible. I mean, he's big man, brutal, but I don't see anything too unique about him. I will say, and I guess that's why I didn't think this match blew me out of the water as much as I had hoped. I hope this kind of would have given me another angle to look at Jake Hager. Not quite. It was a decent match, I will say though. But again, I think that, and also the fact that I was kind of hoping for a little more use of the no holds barred rule, and a little more of like the arena, since it was called an empty arena match. Like, if it was not gonna be an empty arena match, then they could have had this no holds barred, but had like some wrestlers out there in the crowd. I don't know. It just didn't feel like a match that like needed to be contained and like it didn't feel like a match that felt unsafe in front of an audience. Basically, I just felt the hype wasn't quite up to it. The only weapon I remember really being used in this match was towards the end of the match, where Moxley threw a chair into Hager's face, kind of throw him off a little bit, sets the chair down, and Moxley hits him with the paradigm shift to get the victory. After the match, though, Moxley in the camera says the title belongs to the fans and nobody's taking it away from him. AEW is the hottest promotion in the world, and he is on top, which is very true. And that's gonna do it. It's gonna do it for Dynamite this week. Again, not a bad episode. To me, though, probably the weakest episode of Dynamite since these empty arena shows began. Give it a B minus. B minus, because it still put people over, but to me, it wasn't the one that like stood out to me the most out of all the shows I've seen so far. Let me see here. Tyler said that empty arena match was not as good as Ciampa and Gargano match or Mankind and Rock won in '99. Agreed. At 2007, I'm going to do 2000. Get ready for the rants on WCW. Oh boy. Watched it today, was funny for sure. Oh yeah, he's hilarious. He likes ECW hardcore wrestling. Nice. Which some of these people definitely get bring out that style. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this review. Again, tomorrow I will review NXT. I am going, again, I pretty much have all the graphics done I want to have for the releases. I will address those tomorrow, probably sometime tomorrow evening. And then sometime over the weekend, again, I want to work on the graphics tonight before I go to sleep. I definitely want to get my even though we don't know when the season started, my Major League Baseball stream started, in my opinion. So we're gonna get that. So we'll see what happens. So that's my AEW Dynamite review, guys. Gonna give it a B minus. What are your thoughts on Dynamite for tonight? Leave thoughts down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93, and also watch out for my Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban Let's Plays as well. I'm flying through those pretty good, I shall say so far. But that's all I'm gonna say, guys. Have a great rest of your night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.